I am Dr. Medhat Khafagi. I am a professor of surgical oncology, National Cancer Institute, Cairo University. And I have been working in Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center for 3 years as a resident and fellow in New York City. Today we are going to talk about the problem of coronavirus all over the world. The problem of coronavirus is not the flu itself, it's because of its complication. Usually, it kills the patient from 1 to 12% of those infected, depending on the statistics in each country. For example, it's 1% in Germany, but it's 12% in Italy. This virus will kill his patients by the development what we call multiple organ failure. What does it mean? Is that the organs will fail. First, the lungs will fail, then following that, the kidneys, and then the heart and the brain and the liver. Usually, those patients before death, they are put on ventilator in the intensive care units, but the mortality or who dies on the ventilator is around 80%, and 20% will be saved. Why this coronavirus produce multiple organ failure? We really don't know. But we have this problem of multiple organ failure in the intensive care units all over the world. It kills, for example, 70,000 patients in the ICUs in the United States per year. And so it costs a lot of money. When I investigated that problem for the last 12 years, it costed me more than $50,000 to do it. And at last, since 8 years, I found that there is overgrowth of anaerobic bacteria, which is called Clostridia, in their bowel, which produce toxins, what we call exotoxins, which will be lethal to the lungs first, and then the kidneys, following that the heart and the brain and the liver. And so, if we investigate the cause of death or the complications of coronavirus, which is a multiple organ failure, and find a solution for it, like the multiple organ failures in the ICUs or intensive care units, we may solve this problem. We found that these toxins in the bowel will kill the patient. And so, if we give vaccine to these patients on admission to the intensive care units, it will produce antibodies and it will prevent the overgrowth of this Clostridia in the bowel of the patient. Also, we developed antibodies for treatment of these patients with multiple organ failure. We presented our work of the first 445 patients in the annual meeting of the American College of Surgeons in San Diego, and also in the British Clinical Pathological Society in Liverpool. And we are going to present it again in Boston in the fall of this year. And so, to prove that Clostridia infection and coronavirus is the cause of this multiple organ failure, we will win the battle. That is done by taking 4 cc or 4 ml of the blood of these patients and look for the presence of toxins of Clostridia. This has not been done yet. because of bureaucratic problems in Cairo National Health Service, which is responsible for the coronavirus patients. We are trying to get this blood. The next question, if this is a problem and we prove our idea, that will give us time to prevent the death of patients all over the world until we get the vaccine, which more than 50 corporations are trying to produce it. That will take 1.5 years. And so, if we buy time by vaccination of the world with this Clostridia, will prevent the death. 1.5 million patients will die if we leave them during this 1.5 years, at least. The next question, why the coronavirus, this new COVID-19, depress the immunity of the host, so that opportunistic infection occur from this Clostridia in his bowel? Is that this virus knocks down the immunity because 4 of his genes was taken from the HIV or AIDS virus. The rest are taken from SARS. And you know the HIV or AIDS virus knock down the immunity, but slowly, not like this virus. And so, what is the solution now? The solution now is to keep everybody in exile at home, not working or working from home. But not all people will be able to work from home. And so there will be trillions of dollars lost from the GDP all over the world during this 1.5 years until a vaccine is produced. We are trying to buy time by proving that the cause of multiple organ failure or death of the flu of this coronavirus is due to Clostridia infection in the bowel. And so if we prove this fact, we will vaccinate people all over the world. It would vaccinate the medical personnel and also the patients of coronavirus as early as possible before colonization of his bowel with Clostridia. And so it will be a breakthrough in the fight against coronavirus.